White liberals and their white savior complex, I cannot stand
They're
it.
telling us what to be offended by.
You better believe, and we're believing
it. Like, okay, I'm offended.
You ain't black.
And you ain't black.
Hey, Joe Biden. How you doing? Hey, I know you say I'm not black because I got these MAGA gear on me because I voted for Trump. So guess what? If I ain't black, you ain't president.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So welcome to You Ain't Black.
Yes,
There we go.
What's going on, everybody?
Before we get into it, I would like to dedicate this show to a really good friend of mine and do a tribute to Felicia Williams. Not only was she a humanitarian and an activist, she was part of the Compassionate Arts in Pasadena program, but she was a really dear friend of mine. Her campaign, Compassionate Arts, fights mental illness, fights environmental and social causes. And even though she was battling a health issue herself, she dedicated the last years of her life to helping other people. So shout out to Felicia and her family.
All right.
For everybody out there, I just wanted to introduce you guys to my boy. My boy just went viral on TikTok. It's Dave, the Innovative Group.
Yes,
He's
sir.
in the building.
Yo.
Dave Innovative Group.
Thank you for the correction.
But we've been out here.
Oh, you got viral now.
Holding it down in Cali. You know what I mean? Back to back for how many months now? For about 9 months, 8 months.
Yeah.
Going strong.
Beverly Hills, Huntington Beach.
Yes, sir.
With the recall effort, with the election.
Yep.
And I'm glad that you brought that up because right now we're at 3 days left. Now if you guys have known in California, we've pushed hard for the election. People got people were shocked at how red California is and could be. And
We
then
got over 2 million now, right?
Yeah.
It's at 2 million now.
Let's go.
And so with that we shocked we shocked the country, right? And we did Gavin Newsom wanted to give us curfew, so we peacefully with our First Amendment right resisted that order, right?
Got it.
And now with the lockdowns and the election, it gave the fuel for this recall effort. And right now we needed 1.5 and now we're at 2 million.
Let's go. 2 million, baby. 2 million.
The work is not done yet, though. You know what I mean? So tell a friend to tell a friend. Keep signing because we all know they're going to try to do something. You know what I mean? They're going to pull, they were trying to talk about verifying the signatures. When Trump tried to do it, they said it was racist.
It was racist, right?
But now we're trying to recall Newsom. They're saying, okay, well, we got to verify the signatures.
Oh,
yeah.
And this is after we supposedly had the safest election, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So why do they need to
verify.
change anything?
Yeah,
exactly.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, how about that for an idea?
It's funny because you're right. We got to verify the recall, but do we have voter ID in every single state to verify if you vote? There's states that don't have the ID, the voter ID.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Don't forget about it. Georgia just passed the new mandatory voter ID laws, right? They just passed it. These liberals and these Democrats are out there, spreading false news. Oh, Georgia's so racist. They don't want black people to vote. So, I mean, if you're sitting here saying black people don't have an ID to vote, I think you're the racist. You know what I mean?
How about that for a night?
I don't know grown ass
insane.
person who doesn't have an ID. You know what I mean? And
Every person I know right now on Skid Row has an ID. Homeless people have an ID.
Exactly.
So I never get that narrative, but it's the same narrative from the people that say we don't know how to go online to get in line.
Oh yeah,
right. We don't know how to register
I'm
online.
gonna let you know right now. There's a lot of black people that were into politics, like this show. Obviously, we ain't black, so never mind. But
we don't count, right? We ain't black.
They signed a petition to get Governor Newsom out. They voted in droves. I know that Trump had the biggest margin when it came to African Americans and Hispanics in the Republican Party.
Yes, sir.
New record-breaking statistics. And so the illustration that, we can't vote or we can't sign anything, it just shows to believe that not only do we come out in numbers for the election, but guess what? We're going to recall Gavin Newsom.
Definitely.
So if this when most of this airs, this is probably going to air after the 10th, but publicly we're saying the 10th so that we get it all in because people usually mail it in and it takes a couple days to mail in. Yeah. But by this time this episode comes out, it's probably after the 10th. The new number is 17th. So if it's before the 17th and you're in California, you need to sign the petition.
You all know what? Let's talk about a little bit for a lot of people out there who's wondering why is Gavin Newsom being recalled? For all the people that may have thought he was what's a couple of reasons of why this man should be out in office?
Well, one, everybody's talking about Cuomo, but and I remember, when they put COVID patients into the nursing homes. I remember when it happened because it was during the time. Now it's really big news, but I remember when it happened, and I was furious. Yeah. And I found out it was 4 governors. not Cuomo, four governors.
Yeah.
It was the governor in it's Cuomo, Wolf, I think from Pennsylvania, the Michigan governor, and of course yours truly, Gavin Newsom. That's one.
Yeah, that's one reason. Another reason is he's basically been holding children and teachers hostage, right? With this whole pandemic, children still not in schools. Right now, the LAUSD Teachers Union president is literally saying that she wants to keep the schools closed and keep children at home because the only people that want to go back to school anyway are rich white parents who wants to send their children to school.
Here we go.
That's false.
Whoa,
And wait. It gets deeper than that, though, right? It gets deeper than that. A parent who she happens to be of, I think, Middle Eastern descent. She's a citizen and a parent. She wrote a letter to the school wanting to send her child back to school. And do you know what the response was? They asked her to identify her race, to identify herself racially, so they can see if she's a rich white parent who wants to send her child back to school.
Wow.
And by the way,
Literally.
you want to know what this totally reminded me of more than anything? Do you remember that movie Matthew McConaughey did, The Free State of Jones?
Oh, yes. Yes.
You guys remember that? Okay.
I've seen that, yeah.
Where there was a
never saw
guy
that.
who'd fallen in love with an African American during the Deep South, during the times of slavery and the Civil War, and he was actually a nurse for the South in the Civil War before he escaped. Well, not escaped, but deserted and ultimately led what some called a slave rebellion. He called a just a free state.
Yeah.
And many people say that he declared a free state outside of the United States of America. There's no real, evidence that he did as such, but his children actually had troubles getting an education because they couldn't go to the white schools because they were half black. And then the schools meant for back then they called it like the apprentice program and all this other, BS. But all of the what would be considered the black schools wouldn't accept them either. And so this man who's like the most benevolent dude in a 150-mile radius when it came to race relations in 1860. Like literally, like there was like Frederick Douglass and then this guy, right? You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't get his kids in school because of their ethnicity, and then now the LA Unified School District is demanding the ethnicity
in order to go back to school. Literally.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up, dude.
You really can't. Oh, jeez, you really cannot make this stuff up. I think the insanity every day gets a little crazier.
It gets a little bit more loony. I like to call it the Looney Tunes of the left.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, they got a whole lot of that.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
I'm going to have to say that one of the reasons I want Newsom recalled is because of the rules for thee, but not for me mantra that he's a part of. He's telling everybody. I mean, I remember he closed down wineries in 19 different counties, but you better believe that
His was still open.
His stayed open.
His was still open.
You better not go to these restaurants. You better not dine in, and if you do, you better wear your mask. What does he do? He go to the French Laundry.
French Laundry.
You know
one of the literally most expensive. Have you checked out their menus?
I won't even do it.
Most people can't even afford it.
And then his kids were still going to school. They were going to private schools and stuff, and but
they weren't missing an education.
The
Not
citizens, they're not.
Thank you.
They're not. You're telling citizens to like, oh, you guys keep your kids at home and homeschool. And it's just crazy because I spoke to people with kids. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids are depressed. They don't want to be home in front of a computer every single time, for months and months and months.
Suicide
They
rates
miss
are
their
skyrocketing.
friends. Exactly.
Yeah.
Amongst kids, it's crazy, and they want to go back to school. They want to be with their friends from school, and it's crazy,
It's crazy conditioning though. I've seen commercials right now, right? I couldn't believe it. They got commercials, animated kids commercials, telling kids how to social distance, wave but don't hug, say hi from across the street. Yeah. You're literally like teaching these kids to be antisocial.
I've seen these cartoons.
the kids are the target right now.
Absolutely,
that's their target right now. Definitely. It's not just even like social distancing or COVID right now. They're talking about seeing color.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
And transgender and sex and all that stuff.
Yeah, so they're canceling. Like for example, Dr. Seuss books,
Gina Carano, and all these people.
But they're so silent about drag queens going into schools for story time.
Drag queen story hour. Yeah.
The cancel culture is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Because when you really think about it, I'm gonna just make this umbrella statement. If they want to really cancel all of these things that they're canceling because they say it has a racial undertone or a racial history, then shouldn't by definition the entire DNC should be dismantled? Because what about their KKK connections?
Exactly.
What about their Jim Crow connections? We need to dismantle and rename the Democratic Party because that's.
I would love that.
I feel traumatized being with it even being. I'm offended. I'm offended.
As a black man, are you afraid of the Democratic Party?
I am.
Yes,
I'm afraid of them.
I'm
afraid and I'm offended.
The way they keep us on welfare programs, don't give us any COVID relief, no funding or for opportunity zones, no.
It's very oppressive.
They keep us in. Speaking of oppressive,
every 4 years though, vote for me, though. You know, every 4 years, vote for me.
You know what? I love that we're talking about this right now because I was in San Francisco, right, for the recall effort. This is the last push. I spoke there in San Francisco, and when I was there, I saw a group tent, a caged off area in the middle of San Francisco, in the heart of San Francisco, next to the courthouse, next to the Capitol, everything. A little block radius with gates. And those gates locked in with security guards saying you can't film, and it's nothing but the homeless wearing masks with tents in the middle of the city of San Francisco. This is the reason why we are. This is the reason why I went over there to speak. This is the reason why we're going over there to recall, is because Nancy Pelosi and the governor have been running this state horribly, and it showed during this 2020 when the pressure happens, because we all know about homelessness and it happened. But now with COVID, you're not going to use that couple million to for an investment on infrastructure
to go into homelessness for American citizens as opposed to all these foreigners.
They
right?
rather keep them. They rather keep them in poverty in this area of the gate. And as I was walking through cleaning up the city, I saw someone tried to shoot up. She put out the tinfoil. Right? Got the straw, and she's literally shooting up 2 blocks away from this camp.
That happens all the time in LA.
Yeah, they're enabling them in San Francisco. They were giving out free syringes.
Yeah,
they're doing meth on the train at the train stations, yo, and at the bus stops. They're doing meth. Literally, it's crazy. I've even had people, I didn't know whether to be offended or feel sad. I've had people walk up to me and be like, yo, you got some meth? Do I look like I sell meth? Literally.
Homelessness.
And these are young people.
Either that or else you consume it.
And I just look at them like, no, bro, no, I don't have meth.
No. And if I did, I wouldn't give it to you.
And they try to now that Texas and states like Texas and what the state Florida, they're trying to attack the governors for their response for
DeSantis,
COVID. No, but
really?
those states are thriving right now.
They're
doing great. You know what I mean? Like look at somewhere like California, right? You go down to Skid Row, the homelessness in Los Angeles alone skyrocketed.
Absolutely.
But when COVID started, and the last time I checked, which was January this year, at least 14% more people were homeless and ended up on Skid Row, started living in their cars, lost their jobs. You know what I mean? And like we said, this is one of the reasons why we're trying to recall Newsom. It's not a joke, y'all. So
and I want to piggyback on what you said, because remember when we actually had an event, right?
Oh yeah,
in Skid Row, giving out blankets and food
for Thanksgiving,
and Christmas. Dave organized it. Dave, the integrated group.
Appreciate that.
Me and him and the rest of the gang.
Thanks to God, man.
Thank God, exactly. And with me, him, the gang, and a whole bunch of volunteers, we were feeding and giving out clothes and blankets. And we were talking about how last time we've been here before COVID, it got worse.
Oh, yeah.
And Skid Row itself is known of how bad it is here in California. I mean, everybody
knows.
It's
like the epicenter, though, of homelessness in California.
Now, these are people, me and Dave, when we went there, that live here. Didn't it get worse?
It did. You know, when we got there, we did twice, right? You know, people always try to attack us. Oh, well, what do you guys do for your community? What do you do for your community? We actually, you know, we're not millionaires or anything. We actually out here, you know what I mean? And you know, we did it Thanksgiving Day. Also, we went back Christmas Day, and we give out, like you said, blankets, clothes, hundreds of blankets, and it's just thanks to everybody who donated for that, and thanks to God. You know what I mean? Like, it's not my power, it's not Kick's power, it's God. You know, God did that, and you know. Me personally, I've been homeless before, like I said, and I know how it feels to be homeless. You know what I mean? It's the worst thing ever. If you're hungry, you could get somebody to get you food. Like that, okay? Go to the store, hey, can you buy me this? Okay, somebody easily buy you something, but it will be hard for you to find somebody to say, hey, come home with me.
Come crash on my couch.
You know what I mean? And, you know, we attacked the governor and the mayors because their response to the homelessness in L.A., it's not up to par. They're not doing nothing.
And I want to say, since you brought that up too, I had a conversation with you, Dave. Remember about how I had a brother that was homeless and he ended up passing away, committing suicide because of being homeless. So like when he says that and when I say that, this is serious. This is a real problem here in Los Angeles, and we've lived it. We've lived it, and that's why we're going to get Gavin Newsom out. That's why we're going to get Gavin Newsom out. And so for everybody out there, I hope that it shows, if you're watching this right now and you're in another state, when we recall this governor, I hope it has a domino effect for you to actually have the motivation to tell truth to power and hopefully get your governors out if they had the response. Like
let's talk New York. Let's talk a little bit though about this recall, because for example, when we get all these signatures, all that does is trigger a new vote.
Yep.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's not like because he got 2 million signatures, he's out now.
Yeah.
What happens is because we got 2 million signatures, all of a sudden it's going to be a new vote, and Republicans have to put up their guy, Libertarians put up their guy, the Green Party puts up their guy, Democrats put up their guy.
That's when the real fight happens.
Yeah,
that's when the real fight.
Well, that's what I feel like. And that's why I say, like, during Stop the Steal, oftentimes people would say, "Oh yeah," well, and I'd say, "Well, what do you think is really going to happen? Even if this one of the 22 lawsuits actually got overturned, that doesn't mean the election was overturned. It just means that now we get to reassess the election law next time around, right?
Yeah, of course, logic's
and my only fear with is that recalls are so few and far between. Most people don't realize when you get the votes for recall, it just means we're going back to election. And Gavin Newsom won 30-70.
Right.
He won 30-70. Do you really think the 5th largest economy and most populous state in the union is going to have a 21% swing
here's the thing.
towards Republicans?
Here's the thing of what I feel like, right? I feel like this is literally acting like a pendulum, right? And as far left as the pendulum swings, it's going to bang back right even harder, right? So the fact that Gavin Newsom won by that amount, people had a lot of low information voters. They voted for him because he's a young looking, suave looking guy. And they voted for him because of that. But now that they see what he's done in office, they want him out.
Yeah, but do you really think that many people actually pay attention to the suave and debonair?
That's all they know. When they see him on the news and see him pictures.
Because how are they not low information voters anymore? Like,
well, they are.
How are they not? Like they're going to get a thing in the mail where Al Sharpton's going to say, "Oh, Republicans are racist. Look at them trying to get rid of your friend Gavin." And then all these low information voters are going to say, "Oh, crap. Oh, wait, the new Republican's racist too? We can't vote for him."
Yeah, we got to understand, because people from all sides are fed up with Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, that's
people from all sides.
I was going to say that.
I've had conversation with, Democrats, lifelong Democrats in California.
Yeah.
They're saying, "Man, Gavin Newsom, man, he got to go.
Gotta go."
Yeah, because I was going to say that too, is that he's talking about the logistics of it, and I get that, but then also, I guess what everybody's saying is right now is that it's the political spectrum, right?
Yes.
It's politically different. But that old election that he won a long time ago, that no one was as motivated as they are to vote, like when it comes to COVID or homelessness or lockdowns, curfews, businesses being destroyed, businesses being shut down.
I think Republicans talked like this in 1972 in Michigan.
Yeah.
After 8 years of never having a Republican elected statewide, thinking now our state's going to wise up. But did they wise up in the 70s? No. Yeah. Did they wise up in the 80s? No. Did they wise up in the 90s? No. Did they wise up in the 21st century? No. It has been 50 years that Detroit has been a leftist wasteland.
Yeah.
Because as Dennis Prager said, the left destroys everything it touches. Yeah. How do we know California's not going that way? See, I don't want to be raining on your parade, but I'm just not as hopeful as you guys.
You know what, Card? No, Card. You actually bring up a really good point, because I was going to mention from when I'm out on the streets, it's kind of a little daunting to see that most people who I would consider normal, they aren't in a hurry to reopen California. I've talked to people, normal people that work at the grocery store, that work at the retail store, and they literally back the double masking. And they're saying, well, we just need to do what's safe. And I'm playing along, right? Because I'm not going to reveal that I'm a Trumper and all that shit. So I'm just going along like, yeah, well, if they say just shut down for another 6 months, would you support that too, double masking? And they're like, yeah, we just got to do what's safe. People are scared and they're afraid, so they're just giving away their freedoms. And I feel like California, they're acting as almost like a monolith.
Yeah, I mean, and I see, and I understand the problems that we face as Californians in the recall effort.
Yeah.
But here's my thing: at some point, we have to say, "Look, we're done." I don't care if there's a 1% chance of this succeeding. We have to take this chance because at the end of the day, what's going on here is egregious. This governor has done nothing great for California, and his sins are on full display for the world to see, right? And I think that's really something that's really great is that in this information age, we can finally see exactly that which he is not doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So the recall effort is something so important. Yes, it doesn't guarantee that he gets out of office, but it gives us a fighting chance, and that's all we need at this point in time.
And just think about it, the optics. Like, California wants their liberal Democrat out.
Yeah, see, I think that's the only real victory is we've done political theater where we recalled him, and that's a wild embarrassment to any governor because even just being recalled shows a rejection of your own people large enough that it's the same as the Bastille being, stormed in 1776, right? The people have rejected you enough that it's going to make headlines. But my fear for California is we're still a free state. You can just move. And everybody is just moving.
Exactly.
Yeah. Before COVID, we were hemorrhaging 45,000 residents a month, right? We were still the head of Silicon Valley, the head of Hollywood, the head of aerospace. Many people don't realize it, but aerospace, ever since the large air races in the 1930s, was a huge aspect of our economy and everything. But now there is not a single defense contractor or large aerospace corporation that still headquarters itself in California. Wow. People don't realize they have all left. Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Rockwell, JPL, the Jet Propulsion Lab, is the only one still here because they have government contracts to be here.
Not to mention the cost of living.
The cost of living. Dude, Tesla's gone.
Yeah,
Tesla's gone.
Toyota left too.
Yeah, Toyota left. The Ford factory. Okay, it's funny you mentioned the show You Ain't Black. There wasn't a very large black community in Los Angeles until the Ford factory was built in the late 50s, early 60s, and they needed skilled laborers. So they recruited a ton from the shipyards and a lot of the factories where a lot of African Americans in the South had built what won us the war, the ships and the tanks and the cars and the Jeeps that won us the war. Ford said, hey, we want that. So they actually bust them in and birthed like a large swath. I mean, when you talk to a lot of black families here in Los Angeles, their parents came over when the factories opened. So when you close them and they leave to other states, what happens? Economic decimation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And who's that hitting first? Not the rich Karens that have 5 iPads that can do remote school.
Talking about Jerome.
From their toss.
Jerome is
Jerome, yeah. I don't know who Jerome is. But like, it's like this. I'm worried that we are looking.
You're a racist, Hulk. Hulk is so racist. He has the blackest name, Father.
Yes, indeed.
You're a racist person. No, go ahead, continue, because I remember GM. Remember GM back then?
Dude,
black people were in business suits.
At
that time. We were prosperous.
And that's like, and also, it wasn't just black people were in business suits and we were prosperous.
It was everybody.
Everybody was. Like when I was a kid, man, my Pinewood Derby Boy Scout project was done by a guy that worked as a machinist for Northrop Grumman. And my sailboat project was done by a guy who was an aeronautical and aquatic engineer for another defense contractor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you were surrounded.
When I was a kid, we got our stuff from Toys R Us.
Let's go. Let's go.
You had people building and making your stuff.
Well, these were Boy Scout projects, but the point is, whether you're poor or whether you were rich, there was a job at Boeing.
Right.
Because they needed people making the planes, machining the planes, assembling the planes. They also needed people doing CAD, engineering the planes, and they needed accountants accounting for the planes. When that leaves, it's gone.
I just thought about this. You just said this, and now it just dawned on me. Because when I was in San Francisco, I saw so many businesses that were closed, emptied out, and it's never going to come back. And you just said, back in your childhood, we used to get Toys R Us. Toys R Us is gone.
They're gone. They just closed their last store a couple of months ago, I believe.
I'm going to repeat what I just said.
Yeah.
I was in San Francisco.
They're done.
I've walked the streets and all those businesses are gone. Yeah. Not all of them, but I'm telling you, like, I've seen a lot of them. They're not coming back. Yeah. And remember when we were kids, we used to get our toys from Toys R Us.
Mm-hmm. Toys R Us.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
That's how far we've been.
Did you all just hear Joe Biden? According to Joe Biden, only 400 businesses.
Oh, yeah, only 400. Yeah.
According to Joe Biden, even though it's over what, like 600,000?
No, it's only 400. Joe Biden said so.
Businesses.
Well, Andrew, what's up with this cat? Like, I'm worried. I've actually talked to a couple of people. You know, I produce movies, so I'm blessed to be able to talk to the people from all kinds of parts of the world that have come to Hollywood to live out their artistic dream, right? And I was talking with this dude from France, and he literally said, "What is going on with you guys here?" He's like, I understand you guys have COVID, but you didn't have the State of the Union address. He says, we studied the State of the Union address every year when we took United States history and government, because other countries, you don't realize this, but like they study our form of government.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Just like, and it's more than just like us with Spanish class. Like it's like part of their civics.
We're the model.
Is them studying our governmental system. And he says, I literally had to do a report on my favorite State of the Union address. You know what I'm saying? And talk about what was important in the State of the Union address. And he said, there's no reason for you not to have it. If you're having baseball games, you can have a State of the Union address. And who is in charge over there? Because we haven't heard from the guy, and it's been how long since he was sworn in?
Do you think they're going to allow Joe Biden to do a State of the Union address? Really?
Well, they're not letting him do any
address. He won't even answer a question. Literally, he just was addressing Nancy.
What do you think? Do you think? How long do you think?
They emergency with the color bars. Emergency.
Hey, he's gonna mobilize. He's gonna mobilize. I should have pressed.
Okay, power outage.
That's a power. Just hearing that is a power outage in my brain right now. Just hearing that.
That's how ineffective it is, though.
I'm glad that we can laugh about this, but seriously, on the national stage, this is
a national embarrassment.
Our national security is at risk right now. People, isn't this the time that, I mean, think about this across any animal form, right? The animal kingdom. Isn't the time to attack your prey is when he's weak? The one that's lagging behind, that's the one that's most vulnerable. Right now, we are at our most, well, I shouldn't have actually be saying that, right, for people who may not know, but
we all know. Everybody knows.
We see it.
Hey, Lucas. China knows.
China knows.
Biden did give China, a power grid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he gave them access to the power grid.
So ridiculous, man. So and he's going back on everything Trump did, every great thing Trump did for this country, man.
How long do you think, Dave, until he actually has a State of the Union or actually makes an address by himself?
Nah, I don't think.
How long? No, give me an estimated time. We're already at like 2. How long?
I think a year, man. To be honest, man, because
it's been at least 2 months. I mean, he was sworn in.
You think he's gonna last a year? You think he's gonna last a year?
Listen, and we talking about Trump. Trump had the. I mean, for me, I would say Trump had the best State of Union address. And that's the same one Nancy was like,
ripped it up.
Yep.
So crazy.
There were Tuskegee airmen in that speech.
Thank you.
Like
there was like recipient of scholarships to the school of choice in that.
When I saw that, I just thought in my mind that was the Constitution.
That was so anti-American.
Ripping it. It was just like, in my mind, it was the Constitution.
Well, the leftists do not love or do not like
Hollywood cheered her.
The Constitution at all whatsoever. I mean, they want to consider it a living, breathing document that they can change at will. So we all understand that the left doesn't consider it to be, doesn't like the Constitution. So yes, Nancy.
But the sad part is that, on Black Twitter and on Black Facebook and everything, the Black celebrities, Black Hollywood was saying Nancy get invited to the barbecue.
Yeah.
Because she ripped it up.
You see what I'm saying?
Now Nancy was sister girl now after that.
Yeah.
But did these people that say, okay, Nancy gets invited to the barbecue, were they aware she was literally ripping up? I think one of the few references to Tuskegee Airmen in a State of the Union address by white president. I mean, if this were Bill Clinton, it would have been considered revolutionary. Okay,
such disrespect.
But because it was Donald Trump, they're not. And it's like there has to be people that are morally and intellectually honest enough to just recognize that was beyond a faux pas. And the only thing I don't get, like, once again, I can't superimpose my thought process upon black conservatives or minority conservatives or anything like that. But as a human being, I can say I believe I share common sense with all humans of all skin colors, right? I don't see why we don't just walk around and whenever we meet a Democrat say like, holy crap, the party of the KKK?
That's you.
Like they're still around. Like okay, before I talk to you, I need you to denounce right now the KKK because you're in the party of the. You know they're the party of the KKK, right?
I'm totally up for that.
I'm totally up for that. Me too.
I'm totally.
Let's go.
I mean, because they always shut down the conversation. They always say like, oh, you're the party of Trump. Oh yeah, the guy who's the only president in 50 years who didn't start a war.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that guy.
That president. You're right. Oh yeah, he said some nasty things. Still not as bad as tearing men out of their house in front of their children and lynching them. Still not as bad.
Yeah.
Still not as bad. So unless you can right now denounce, you know what I'm saying? All that, I don't want to talk to you because you're in the party of the KKK.
Wow. Just that simple.
I mean, Trump is the Hitler of the
Hitler reincarnated.
You know what I mean? And Biden is the one. These liberals, man, they went under like $600, $2,000 stimulus package. Biden said, "Nah, you ain't getting that.
Hey,
bomb Syria. That's what I'm doing. Bomb Syria. You know how much money went into that?"
I wanted to say this real quick because I don't think we got to reframe back to this. This is a genius idea that Cardin just said
about the Democrats.
Thank you.
Well, for the longest, y'all, I've been spelling Democrats with the KKK in it. DEMOKKK RATS.
I just wanted to.
Yes.
I just wanted to say this. That is an interesting point. From this point forward, whenever you talk to anybody, seriously, because hold on, let me finish my thought. That because you know how we argue on the streets, right?
Yeah.
And they always have that liberal ideology where it's like, okay, you are the racist or you're the party. They always do labels, right?
And you're guilty of the sins of that party individually.
So this is where I'm getting at. This is genius.
Yeah.
We, like you said earlier, I think, and we're going to get into this, how the left, they use labels. And we're just sitting here like, okay, calm down. Let's put them on the label. Now, from this point forward, if you ever talk to a Democrat or a liberal, they must announce the KKK.
They must announce it,
from this point forward.
Otherwise,
every time you talk to one, because right now, I think the right now is starting to put their own label. What was that day that you were talking about earlier? Their own label on the right.
With the sexuality or
what's the label for us right?
Oh my gosh.
So these days, like being a straight male, right? You're the most attacked person. Being a conservative, straight Christian male, you know what I mean?
Add white to that, bro.
Straight white male. Straight white.
Y'all at the bottom of the line. Y'all at
the Carter, you at the bottom of the barrel, man.
If you don't support something, automatically you have a hatred for
a phobia.
No, we are the Satan. We are the Satan of the new religion of woke. like straight white male Christian,
conservative.
Just forget it.
I never thought I'd see the day actually where the white male will be attacked.
And the funny part is, it's like I'm not even some kind of wild conservative. I'm actually I'm probably more socially conservative than I am fiscally. For heaven's sakes, I'm a UBI advocate. I'm an advocate for universal basic income, which ironically is actually a Republican idea. And we could talk about it ad nauseum a little bit later because I think you all would actually agree with me. You know what I'm saying?
I think some of us will debate you on that one.
But it's like, I mean, for heaven's sakes, like, it's this new religion, and the reason why I've actually stopped arguing politically with people is I'm just like, I have too much respect for freedom of religion in this country that I've just realized this is no longer a political ideology. It's a religious right and a religious doctrine to these people. In their minds, my identity due to my skin color.
You got it.
Never mind. My grandpa fought Nazis. My great-grandma, great-great-aunt, actually fought for women's suffrage. Never mind my rich history of hyper-liberal bloodline that has fought for equality in all of the most liberal terms possible, in the most liberal ways possible. No, because of my skin color, I am the devil to these people.
And go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, man. I've been saying that for the longest time. We need a new civil rights era, but this time for white people because they are targeted for the color.
You are going to get so much flack.
I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Look like
I'm scared.
And so,
you know what I'm saying? Come at me.
I love how. Let's get back to the topics.
We got to get into this cancel culture.
So we got to Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, they're canceling everything today.
Everything.
You know?
What's the latest attack? One of my favorites, Carton. You was mentioning about France, right? You remember Pepe Le Pew?
Oh,
they want to
they're going after Pepe Le Pew.
But guess why? Because it incites rape culture.
How?
You remember how he was so suave and loving, and he would always read poetry to the girl, the female cat who happened to get the white stripe on her back.
Let's go.
He was incessant. He would not let up. But now that's rape.
But also, his incessance was based upon stupidity
and the attraction,
not based upon any kind of predatory.
He thought she was a skunk. He thought she was another skunk.
I mean, this is how insidious the left. And here's what I've been saying: that
by the way, let us not forget, Pepe Le Pew's an animal.
Thank you. Animals mate, right? They have mating season. Exactly. Animals go in heat.
They will go after,
he was in heat, basically.
They will go after Gina Carano, a woman. They will go after Mr. Potato Head, a toy. They will go after Dr. Seuss, which has been dead for over 100 years. It does not matter to the cancel culture vulture. It will pick at the bones of the legacies from the living and the dead, from toys, from girls. It doesn't matter. It will come for you.
Yes, sir.
I want to say this because there was a post and I saw that and it kind of gave me an epiphany.
What did it say?
And it was talking about cancel culture, right? And it's saying that they're going so far, but look at what's really going on, like to really look at it. Right. Notice how they are canceling all these Black Indian women people on the boxes. And on the boxes, right? To a point where now when you go into the stores,
all you see is white.
Let's talk about it. Anybody ever saw the Cracker
Yeah.
Jack box?
And then,
it's a white boy on there. Anybody ever saw Little Debbie? It's a white girl.
Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats.
I'm offended.
Chef Boyardee, white face. You know, Aunt Jemima's canceled. Uncle Ben's is canceled.
And so we're worried about them canceling this stuff, but then we haven't really noticed that. Again, they're letting the white people stay on to a point where it's reverse racism, which I don't believe in reverse racism. You're racist in general.
It's racist.
But the way their attack is reverse, meaning they used to go after minorities because they didn't like them. Now they're acting like the minorities to attack because now they don't even want to be in a store with minorities on boxes.
Yeah. Check it out. Listen. Hey. Check it out.
But even bigger than that, they're acting on our behalf, though.
Hey, check this out.
On our behalf, right?
Check this out. The people pushing all this cancel on all these products, like you said, are white liberals.
Thank you.
White liberals.
But
guess what Malcolm X said?
On our behalf.
You remember what Malcolm X said?
They would be almost dangerous.
He said he told us to be careful, to watch out for white liberals, because guess what? White liberals are gonna act like they like you. They're gonna act like they support you. Exactly.
They're acting like they're doing it for you.
All they're doing is detrimental to your very existence.
Exactly.
Let me ask you
You know what I mean? And it's just crazy.
Were you ever asked if Aunt Jemima was offensive?
Oh, no.
Were you ever asked? Were you ever asked? No. I was never asked.
The story behind
thank you.
White liberals and their white savior complex. I cannot stand
They're
it.
telling us what to be offended by.
You better believe, and we're believing
it. Like, okay, I'm offended.
I am offended. I guess I am offended.
Okay,
do y'all remember several shows ago when I talked about manipulation and I was saying that if you wanted to get a child to eat his vegetables, you would probably be more successful to bribe that child into doing it. You know, as opposed to just forcefully trying to make the child do it.
Manipulation.
We've been manipulated into erasing our culture.
So you know what? In this reverse theory that just happened, and now that we have this epiphany, I think all four of us as Black conservatives need to ask the white liberal here on the show, you need to denounce KKK.
Oh, dude, I'm not a registered. Are you a liberal? I'm not a registered Democrat, dude. I'm not a registered Democrat. How dare you accuse me of that shame?
Man, now that's a scarlet letter that you might not be able to.
Carden, we will not do the show anymore until you denounce white supremacy and KKK right now.
I don't have that problem. I am in the party of Frederick Douglass,
Let's go.
and Abraham Lincoln,
Harriet Tubman.
Also, I'm noting that at 51 minutes and 30 seconds, I'm editing this out.
Mic drop.
Oh, man.
Okay, but wait, y'all. What about this? Wait, Carden, do you have any Latino heritage in you?
Do I have? No. I speak Spanish because I served there for 2 years.
Right.
I served in Argentina for 2 years.
Well, did you know that they're going after Speedy Gonzalez?
No, they're going after Speedy Gonzalez.
Speaking of artists,
he's racist by the way he talks and he runs so fast and he's always.
They're going for Eminem as well again. They're trying to cancel Eminem again.
Oh, the actual rapper?
Yeah, they
okay,
are. Yeah.
Well, you can cancel him. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Literally, go away.
No.
I thought
for those
Yeah.
Not for those reasons.
He can go, man. He can go.
The hip hop community, I thought we canceled him a long time ago.
I mean, for real though.
So no. Let's be the person on the high horse. If they want to cancel one person, they can cancel everybody. We have to be on the high horse. We will not condone any canceling.
That's what I was going to say.
We
don't
gotta
support or
cancel
condone
culture.
cancellation.
None.
You got to cancel culture. That's
what I
needs
want to
fix.
That's the only cancel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I want to cancel.
That's what.
What's
Let's
the-
cancel culture.
Yeah, we can only cancel culture. That's the only thing we can do. Everything else, you can't cancel.
I like that.
But I mean, if you're gonna apply the rules, apply them equally.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna cancel, let's cancel. Let's just cancel everybody.
Cancel everything.
Yeah.
And then
Cancel
we're done.
BLM, man.
You know,
Let's cancel BLM.
Diamond and Silk had a good point.
Check it out. $90 million this in 2020, bro. $90 million for BLM. They raised $90 million.
More than that.
Speak on it.
What?
I read that they raised $20 billion actually.
In 2020?
In 2020, they in the
we
billions.
all know they're
No,
not
it's in
going
the
to put the
billions.
exact.
It's in the billions for
we
sure.
all know they're
Billions.
not going to put the exact number.
No, I
Michael
think you're
Brown?
talking about the damage they did, not the money they raised.
No, they raised from donations. It was over 10
I don't
billion.
think they hit a B, did they?
I promise
It's
you it was
possible.
a B. They hit a B,
Because I just
y'all.
feel like they're not going to put it out.
Okay, I'm
You
gonna
know
look
what I
this
mean?
up right now. I'm gonna
They're
look this
not
up
going
right
to
now.
put
Didn't
it out.
Michael Brown's father
Ask for 20
isn't
million?
his family trying to go after
They're
some of
suing
them?
and
they
they're asking
asking
for
for
the
20
money now
million,
because a lot of the chapter leaders are asking for some of the money too. Where is this money going?
It's not going to the black communities.
Where
I
it
tell
was
you
pledged
that
to
much.
go.
Come on now.
Democratic
Black
Party.
Lives Matter,
That's
right?
funded
Okay,
Democrats.
so
That's
according to Market Watch, right here, it looks
Now they're
like
lying so they don't get audited.
Black Lives
They
Matter
made more than
raised
that.
more than
They
90
made
million
more
in
than
2020.
They lying.
Are the
Okay.
feds watching? Y'all need
Hey.
to pay attention to this.
All right,
stuff.
guys. We're talking over each other, all right? One at a time. Here we go.
Right.
Well, I was just saying that I don't think they've hit the B yet. I don't think they've hit $1 billion yet, but it's a lot of money.
A whole lot
That
of
is
money.
a lot of money.
It's not
I mean,
gone to
how
the
much?
black
How much of that
community.
90 million
canceling-
has gone
but-
to any of our communities?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So if they're canceling, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. If they're canceling all of this, right? Like how you were saying, let's just cancel everything.
Yeah.
Diamond and Silk was saying, shouldn't we cancel the piano? Like it's too many white keys, and you don't have enough black keys.
Right.
That's oppression.
This is if we're going to get arbitrary with it, let's get foolish with
Thank
it
you.
then. Let's go.
Because they're already
Goodness.
considering canceling in the state of Texas. They were canceling the term master from the realtors.
Yes.
No,
The
they
master
already
bedroom.
did that here
when
in 2015.
When realtors show homes, you can't call it the master bedroom anymore because
I remember that.
why? I don't know.
I'm trying to talk about BLM. I want their ass. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Man,
look at it, bro.
that's
Like
talking to
nothing. They've not done anything tangible for our community.
Because they're a fake pseudo
haven't.
organization.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy because people still rally behind BLM.
Yeah.
Like, are you guys?
Yeah.
Are you that stupid or are you that blind? What's going on?
I
Like,
think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a lot of misinformation going on out there within the media. I mean, I just saw something where they were saying that in the Navy, it's considered non-political to talk about BLM. So you can talk about BLM at will. You know what I'm saying? This is where we're at, where BLM is being propped up. And
They teach it in the schools.
you got it.
Yeah, BLM.
You got it. Yeah. This is where we're at in our world, where in the United States at least, where they really believe that BLM is some type of benevolent organization that really helps.
They got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize. What
billions
does
of
that tell
dollars
you?
in damages.
Yes.
That's what got them
Destroying our
nominated.
cities, killing black people, destroying black-owned businesses.
Yeah.
Okay, BLM, Black
Yeah.
Lives Matter, is killing black-owned businesses and black people.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I want us to remember Captain David Dorn.
Yes.
If
Yes,
you remember
sir.
Captain David
Yes,
Dorn,
sir.
who was
Absolutely.
murdered during the BLM protest by
Retired
BLM
sergeant.
rioters.
You got it.
Yeah.
Retired captain.
Got it.
Captain.
He got murdered.
Speak on
Cold-blooded, got shot.
Yes.
Cold-blooded, died on the pavement right there.
And-
so we just got to remember him. Rest in peace.
Maybe you should add that whenever you meet a Democrat and just be like, okay, can I get you to denounce the KKK right now? Like, because Democrats are the party of the KKK. So you're not down with the KKK, right? Okay. Do you renounce the murder of the black man, David Dorn?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you renounce the murder
By
of
BLM.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
just go down
could
the
list.
list.
Then we can talk. Then we can talk.
Here we at, yeah.
Actually, we need
Until
to hold
then,
them to the fire too. Do you denounce white supremacy?
Let's go.
Do you denounce segregation?
Let's go. Let's go.
Just like
I
they want to
really,
Let's hold them to the fire.
I really want to go to a Joe Biden event or something,
Yeah.
just so I just could go there and do what they do to Trump and just
Absolutely.
question him, like hammer hammer it. Like, yo,
like I'm waiting for the young apolitical, just a young black woman, young black man, just to go up and get a chance to speak to one of these guys and say, okay, it's my first time voting. I've been looking into the parties. I'm really nervous about voting for you because you're from the party of the KKK. And I don't see any
Imagine a little kid.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
just
a little kid.
like
that.
why should I vote for anybody in the party of the KKK?
Hey, that's the actual.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the term? I mean the story of David and Goliath, or the kid? Oh no, the kid that Emperor had no clothes. Remember how the kid walked up and no one wanted to say the elephant in the room, and some people are like whispering with each other, like, "Oh yeah, the Democrats are the party of the KKK." Oh, but no one wants to say it out, and then just some kid walks up and just like, "Oh, let me ask you a question." And imagine a little 5-year-old kid going, "Now when I become 18 years old, I want to vote for a party, and I just have one question." Why should I vote for you when you're the party of the KKK? I mean, that would go in stride. It would be like, it would go viral.
They're gonna be speechless. Nothing, because they can't. It's
indefensible.
They can't answer.
Well, now they're trying to say that the party switched. They're trying to come up with that lie, all that type of foolishness and everything.
Lies.
But by the way, does that not sound as crazy as the dude that gets arrested with drug paraphernalia in his car and he's like, "That's not mine." That's not mine. So like when the American public walks up to a politician who's literally in the party of Jim Crow, of denying Jewish children asylum from the Nazis. Don't forget, FDR, Democrat, turned away the Jewish kid boat. You know what I'm saying?
The party of Margaret Sanger.
You got the party of euthanasia, Margaret Sanger. You got the party of poverty. You've got the party of the welfare state. Like, I mean, I just like
go down the list.
You know what? Go down the list.
You got to do me a favor. Can you please bring up, because I wanted to talk about Dr. Seuss, right? Because the image that they keep bringing that's racist, it's a specific illustration of a Chinese man, and they're supposed to be in Chinatown or something, and the Chinese man has chopsticks with eating like a box of Chinese food rice, and he has on a China hat. If you can find that image and bring it up, because I would like to know. What is racist about that? It's gotten to the point to where you can't even pay homage to a culture. It's like if you were to show the Japanese culture in an illustration, what's wrong with putting the woman in a kimono? That's a huge part of their culture. Well, how is that racist?
Well, and the other thing is they have no problem having a white corn belly Midwestern redneck. You know what I'm saying?
Like in his mouth.
You literally watch right now. This is the proof. White people suck. White people suck. All white people suck. I can say that the YouTube algorithm won't stop me. No problem. Like white people are horrible, evil, bad. White people deserve every bad thing that could ever happen to them. Like you can say that ad nauseum. In a million years, would you ever envision any other ethnic group getting that? No. And that's and this is why it's so stupid. Look, I mean, if you want to start canceling Dr. Seuss based upon his representations of other companies who were our existential enemies at the time, you would have to cancel all wartime propaganda ever.
We have to cancel To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes.
That can't be taught in schools. We have to cancel. Did they cancel Huckleberry Finn?
I think they already did, didn't they?
I think they took that off the. Oh, but what about this? Dr. Seuss was not racist when Obama was supporting it, and Michelle Obama was reading it to children. Then it wasn't racist. It was okay.
Oh yeah, right. Obama and Michelle.
You remember that was like one of their favorite ones to read to the children.
See, this is what I understand, and we've got to talk. We talk to people about this stuff. At that time, there was it was a different era. Okay, let's keep it 100. Everyone of that mindset at that era had a particular mindset that was more racially motivated, that was racially bigoted. Are we going to then cancel entire history and entire centuries of history just because people didn't have the woke ideology that they have now? Is that where we're going in life? Where everything of the past is now canceled because they didn't have the proper woke mentality that we have now.
Well, and also let's stop calling it woke, though, because woke was actually kind of a cool term from the 70s.
I hate that term.
Where it meant that you were actually kind of aware of the suffering of an underclass and you wanted to help them out. It was the equivalent, I would believe, nowadays when they say, like, okay, I'm an ally in the LGBTQ community, right? So woke is broke now. Let's just be
it
honest.
don't even
Like
mean anything. It's broke as fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, it's broke as
This
a
is a
joke.
Christian show. This is a Christian show.
Broke as
man.
a joke, man.
Yeah.
What do we got one more? Because
Yeah.
do we have one more
What was
before
it?
we get more cussing?
I
in
feel
here?
like we got to touch on. Well, this is the attack of the children, right? The throuple thing. In addition to the Michelle Obama had a conversation with Dwayne Wade's. I'm gonna say child.
Start with that.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade's child.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use a pronoun.
What did you do?
I'll just say
We'll
child.
get canceled out here in
right.
the streets.
Michelle Obama went and did a live interview in front of the world and actually and said how courageous he was and that, that she actually encouraged other young children, other young boys to live their truth. And just the fact that they're promoting transgender as an option
For children.
for
little kids.
prepubescent children
No, my goodness.
is insane.
I
It's
get,
a lot of people that could have been honored. What about the 11, 12-year-old girl that has her own $1 million potato chip company? Why didn't you put her on and go viral with her and encourage young girls to be like her? Or what about the 14-year-old black boy who got a full scholarship to Ivy League college?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why not encourage people to be like him? Why are you encouraging people to be like Dwayne Wade's child?
My theory for it is like, listen, check it out, guys. Check it out.
Yeah.
So it's a plan, okay? They're starting with letting kids decide if they could change their sex and their gender.
Which is not possible.
It's not
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids can't even don't even know what they want to do tomorrow. Like,
They don't even know what they want to wear
You know what I'm saying?
to school.
But look,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a plan. Listen, all right? They're letting these kids, okay, look, change their genders and sex, right? It's very soon. The next thing is they're going to let them choose what their sexual partner's going to be.
You better believe it.
It's pedophilia.
You better believe it.
But
I'm
they've been
telling
doing
you,
that.
No, of course.
It's a
pedophilia.
plan, yo.
They're doing that.
They're going to be like, well, I want to be with this 30-year-old guy, and I could do it because I know what I
They've
want.
already
You know what I
been
mean? I
doing
can
it.
change my sex.
And I get it.
You know what I mean?
And I get it. I mean, Michael Obama can
Oh,
can actually do what he wants to do.
Well, he said it.
But
man,
but
now I
don't-
gotta
but-
go editing that shite out too.
I said Michael. I don't. You guys don't know who I'm talking about.
Like I said earlier.
I
said earlier, y'all.
You guys know and don't know who I'm talking about. So Michael can do whatever they want, but don't push it on children.
We've been talking about that.
Exactly.
Think about this, right? I just got to say this because I'm a huge fan of court and law, right? By law, children can't legally enter into a contract, a binding contract, meaning that a child can't even go buy a car, even if they got the money, because supposedly you don't have the mental capacity to enter into a
You
contract.
can't get no loan. You
Thank
can't
So
do
if
that.
if you can't get a loan or enter into a contract, how are you going to have doctors change your biology,
Well,
your biological makeup?
yep, and we've been talking about it. And Hulk, you've said it before with that bill. Remember when we were talking about the bill that came? That too.
HR 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
and
ahead,
in
talk about
addition,
that.
they don't even need the parents' consent
So,
now.
Hulk, what's going on with that?
Well, it's a nefarious bill, first and foremost. I mean, it's the Equality Act. Of course, it's another euphemism, just like Black Lives Matter. Oh, Black Lives Matter, when we all understand this is a front for black supremacy. Antifa, which is just a front for domestic terrorism. Women's reproductive health, which is just a front for abortion and killing babies. Here we got the
Killing
Equality-
black babies.
Exactly.
Preach.
You understand what I'm saying? We got the Equality Act, which is just a front for destroying womanhood and our religious freedoms at that. And it's just a lot of nefarious things in this bill. Transgenders being able to play sports with actual women, okay? Which means I can put on some lingerie and
So
go
you
play
wanna
lingerie
wrestle.
football.
Yeah, you want to go wrestle. You know what I
You
mean?
see what I'm saying? I can go into a
crazy, yeah.
bodybuilding competition, just say I'm a woman now, and I can go ahead and break every record.
Hulk,
in
you
this
need
just
to
not
identify
right,
as a
you know.
woman.
Yes.
You need to
Take
go
all
into
the
the.
records
Hold
off.
on, I got to do this. This
crazy.
is how we can stop it. Here we go. I got the idea of how we figure all this out. We will stop it tomorrow.
Yes.
We need Hulk with a wig. And we need to put him on the track team. On the wrestling team.
I can't run.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, in my mind I was thinking what you can't do.
Bodybuilding.
You know what I mean?
Bodybuilding.
I want Hulk to put a wig on and go wrestle or bodybuild with these women. Put it on national stage and
yes.
say,
And
at
let's
this
see how
point,
that
see how it works.
fares out,
We'll stop it.
Now, I would like to
Joanna
be
Man.
clear too. I would like to be clear that
Joanna
by
Man?
no means,
Joanna Man?
by no means, right?
Does anybody see Joanna Man?
By no means is this an attack on transgender.
No, it's not.
Because
Right.
transgender adults, you can do what you want to your body. You can remove your breast. You can remove your penis. This is specifically the insidious and nefarious attack on transgendering children.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, adults, you can do what you want to do, but transgender adults shouldn't push that agenda on children.
Bottom line.
Bottom line. They have no place playing sports with
women.
With women
biological
either.
women.
With biological women.
The bone structure is different. The muscle structure is different.
The muscle structure is different.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess I look like every other woman out there.
I think you can compete with women. I think it's totally fine.
All you need is a wig.
And here, actually, you know what? To be honest, no, I don't, because all I have to do is identify.
Okay.
I don't have to change a single solitary thing about me. And if you ask anything about that, then you're a bigot. You know what I'm saying?
So
look at see my hair flopping in the back.
Bottom line,
now you got a mullet.
Bottom line is,
why you give this man a mullet?
Let's do this. You can do whatever you choose to as an adult. Okay. The bottom line is, stay the fuck away from the kids.
That's it.
Let kids be kids.
I can't believe we're talking about this because
Let
before
kids be kids.
we were talking
Common sense.
about how pedophilia has infiltrated the LGBT. I've said it multiple times. I said why LGBT needs to stand up and denounce that.
Yeah.
But yes, you're not doing it. So look what's happening.
And you know what? What's more disturbing to me on a spiritual level too is that this is a huge reflection on our country. I've always spoken that when a nation doesn't protect its children, because places like Thailand, child pornography is legal, child trafficking is legal, people travel there. If a nation doesn't protect its most vulnerable, specifically children, that's so evil in so many ways. That's ungodly.
No, there's
inhumane.
There's countries, and I forget which one it is, but I don't know, it's Cambodia or somewhere, I forget.
Somewhere in India or something.
Yeah. Where their culture is that when they have two women.
Yeah, let's not spitball what we're about to say. All right,
Yeah, that's true. Never mind, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, we're gonna throw entire nations under the bus. I don't know what degenerate, horrible thing. It might have been, this country. It might have been that one over there.
This, right? So it was
a documentary I saw. I just can't think of the name.
There's people on the left, man. We have someone like T.I., right, who was arguing with Candace Owens about what's the biggest problem in our black communities. And Candace Owens made a great point as like father absence, and he was over here, no, it's not, it's police brutality, right? This is the same T.I. This is the same T.I.
All of what you're about to say, I know what you're about to say
is the
is
same
allegedly.
This
is allegedly.
Let him finish.
Well, allegedly, right? But I mean,
because
what happened to believe all women?
It's still an investigation.
We're using their own logic.
I know what you're about to say.
So this is the same T.I. who just recently got accused of sex trafficking of multiple women,
and Tiny, T.I.
including T.I. and Tiny,
the wife too,
including minors. Minors. This is the same T.I. Oh, I know what's the best for black community.
Since 2005, for the last 15 years, they've been accused of drugging over 20 women, and they say that none of these women know each other, and all of their stories are the same.
I'm gonna be real with you, okay? This is alleged, right?
It is alleged.
It is alleged, but I will also bring up, and I'm not saying that this is true, but I will also point out something that it was alleged when Weinstein did what he did, and it was alleged when
they said believe all women.
R. Kelly. Remember R. Kelly?
Yeah, but hold on. We don't want to be doing.
Kavanaugh.
We don't want.
I said that's not true.
Exactly. We don't want to be doing what the Democrats do.
I know.
And we want to have due process.
That's right.
Yes, I do.
Exactly.
Because Kavanaugh got Kavanaugh.
Hold on now.
Allegedly.
Hold on now.
Allegedly.
If we are going to do this, we're going to hold all of us to the same standard. And if we're going to hold everyone to the same standard, then daggone it, we can throw as much trash and dirt as the left heaps onto the right on a consistent daggone basis.
And we need to believe these women.
You better believe
all women. That's
what
they say.
Except for Joe Biden when it comes to terrorism. Except for Tiny and T.I. when it comes to this sexual.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I never supported the believe all women thing. I thought that was stupid as hell.
It is. But they use it against us. You know what I mean?
Hold yourself to the same standards. And that's what's so the hypocrisy of the left, and it pisses me off that we got to play nice. We got to toe the line.
We always got to take the high road.
Thank you.
Hulk. I know you're angry, but
don't
destroy this.
Hulk is about to talk green over here.
Don't destroy it, because I felt the ground shake right now for one quick moment. I saw Dave. Dave is in the corner. He looked at me like, what's going to happen right now? And I I need to slow him down before it turned purple. Because he would turn green.
Vibrating green.
Hey, because black people, we don't turn green, we turn purple.
We turn purple.
So this Hulk is going to turn purple, not green. But I think at the end of the day, I think the message is just stay on track. Let's just stop, because I know the woke mentality is putting us all into circles, right? But like, we just need to just get back to common sense and reality. Yeah. And in order for us to do that, we got to fight fire with fire. Yes. I think that's what you're trying to get at, Hulk, right?
Yes.
Sometimes to exterminate a rat, you got to crawl in the gutter.
Ooh, I'm gonna need you to daggone preach, baby.
You can't do it from the street level. You got to get in the gutter.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think?
I worked in pest control for a long time. There's baiting options.
That's true.
There's trapping options.
You
don't need to crawl in the gutter.
They've morphed and gotten smarter. They know how to avoid the trap.
I got them New York rats. They're not from New York.
Okay, so this is the last. Last topic I'm going to bring up here, and this is something of deep concern to me. Actually, everybody joked at the beginning of quarantine and the lockdowns that there was going to be a baby boom, a miniature baby boom, because all these people at home, getting productive with their lack of production. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, it's actually looking like work. It's actually looking
like this is a Christian show.
It's actually looking like, unfortunately, instead of having another baby boom, we've actually had a baby bust.
Really?
Yeah.
Less
Researchers are not expecting. It's now pretty much confirmed that we are facing an underpopulation
because people
crisis.
Can't afford babies, and people are being more economically.
Exactly, and that's because when you're stressed by the lockdowns and you're stressed by the lack of finances, and the Democrats telling you if you vote for Joe Biden, you're going to get $2,000 so you can actually make your rent payment. I know guys,
which we didn't get.
We
bombed the Syria instead.
They got our money, you know what I'm saying?
So
are you saying that people were having babies just to get a check to pay the rent?
No. I'm saying that we're actually facing right now an underpopulation crisis. If you actually look at just the basics on Wikipedia right here, in order for us to sustain and replace our population, the average woman, or at least our population through childbirth, we have a requisite 2.1 babies per woman that are required to sustain our population through birth alone, right? And we're not even hitting that. Okay.
Carton, you can go to the lifetime birth and death rate right now, and the numbers of every single birth is going, and the numbers of death goes too, and we can track it. Literally, it's live time right now.
Well, I mean,
and we're not replacing ourselves.
They've been talking about. Well, you got to look at the left's agenda.
There's more deaths.
They don't want more people in the United States. They're trying to decrease us. And I mean, you see that they're doing that in the black community with
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
Cuomo did it with the nursing homes.
You got it. It's a nefarious act of the Democrats. They do not care about the human citizen. They don't care about humans in general. All they care about is their agenda, and it's always nefarious. It's always this, depopulation type of tactics, and they preach that on a consistent basis, and they're promoting that on a consistent basis. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this is what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm really not.
Because we got Planned Parenthood, like in New York City, for example, right? In 2019, there were more babies aborted. Black babies aborted than born alive. You know what I mean? The numbers were like 225,000 black babies aborted in 1 year. It's crazy, and people don't see it. And we talk to these black liberals, for example. We talk to you every single time. Be like, open your eyes, man. Look at it's a plot. Look at what they're doing to our neighborhoods, our communities, and they don't see it.
Whoa. Okay, so this is it. This is my last straw. Okay, Dave, the Innovative Group, is going viral on TikTok. And he came in the studio of You Ain't Black, and he literally just said that he's against killing black babies. So you know what? I think we can all agree that you ain't black.
Man, I guess. That's
it. Okay, I went 16 minutes over because we might have to
that was some good stuff. You ain't black.
And you ain't black.